All right. So can you tell everyone that is watching what do you do for a living and how it is living in the city you live in being black?
Yeah, so I'm Brett Jackson. Brett Alexander Jackson is my full name. Um, by career, I'm a project manager, engineer by background. Living in Nashville, man, is different. You know, it's predominantly, I would say, a white city. We were talking about a country music capital. So being black here in Nashville, it's not so much opportunity like you would have in Atlanta or a Houston or some of those predominantly black cultural cities. You get what I'm saying? But Nashville is really kind of on the up and coming. You know what I mean? So excited to see what's in store for it in the next 5 years. But as of now, it's just kind of right there in between. But it's always a good time.
What do you think is the biggest problem in the American black culture?
In American black culture, I think just not realizing kind of the power that we have and really taking advantage of that. I think within this past year during the pandemic, I would really say that I believe that the black culture got a lot more opportunity that we probably didn't get before, with just opportunities with small business loans and those type of things that kind of just put us in the forefront. You get what I'm saying? We've seen a lot of black excellence too within this past year. So just highlighting and being able to have that an example to show what we can be and who we are, you know, what we stand for. So you got the Kamala Harrises, you got the even what's her name, the track star that just got messed up, Sha'Carri Richardson. You know, unfortunately what happened, but even in the Olympics right now, you're seeing, you know, a lot of African American faces. In the NBA, you're seeing a lot of African American leadership as well. So yeah.
Okay, sounds great. So what have you done positive for the culture?
For the culture, I think my biggest thing right now, as I've been at the later half of my 20s, is mentorship, leading by examples. I think that's the best thing that I can do right now, because I think, you know, eventually when we talk about philanthropy, because that's kind of what it's tied to, when you're working on community and things that you're doing for the culture, sometimes it does tie to a financial situation. Being able to give that, to be able to give, you got to have sometimes. You get what I'm saying? And not saying that I don't, but I think there's a next level. You get what I'm saying? A Jay-Z level or certain level that when I do get to, I'll be able to do more. But for now, I think leading by example, mentorship, picking along the other black brothers after me, young brothers after me, as I was picked up. You get what I'm saying? And showed the way as well. So I think that's the way to change the culture, is changing the youth. It starts with the youth.
Okay. So have you ever witnessed or experienced black love?
Black love? I would say in a household, for sure. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I'm 28. Growing up, my parents have always been together. I think when I think of black love, I'm thinking about the way that I was brought up, the support that I had from my mom and dad, the way I saw them love each other, and just growing up, understanding what love means and the way to show it. You know, different things that you can do, love languages, etc. So I would say family, from a family standpoint, yes, most definitely experience black love.
If a brother or sister approach you with a greeting of the day, would you normally say something back in return, and why?
A greeting as of like, hey, what's up?
Or good morning?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, especially if you kind of are already close enough to greet someone, or you make eye contact, it's kind of almost like, why aren't you speaking? So yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Do you believe that black people in America greet each other normally, or do you think it's more of a...
I don't think it's just a black people thing. I think that America in general, you know, it depends on where you are. In the southern states, it's more likely for when you're around somebody random or somebody that you don't know, for them to say, hey, how are you doing, or strike a conversation. But if you go to New York, you know, it's a whole kind of different culture. You know, people don't speak to each other. You know, if you don't know somebody, then they kind of, you know, keep your distance. So I think it's just, I don't think it's a racial situation. I think it's just based off of like what's the norm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right. Have you ever had a bad encounter with the police?
Nothing too crazy. I would think just like the usuals. You know, sometimes you know, police suspect things, and when they suspect things, they go over the top, even if you don't have something. So I think you know, probably the worst encounter has been just, you know, harassment, to the sense of, you know, they're trying to figure out if you got something on your record that they could take you down for, if you got something in your car, even if they need to inconvenience you and search you. But in terms of anything physical, no, I've never experienced that, you know.
Okay. How many people you know that are incarcerated?
Yeah, right now, probably a handful. I think it's all based on crowds. You get what I'm saying? Your circle. You get what I'm saying? Growing up, I can't really recall too many family members that was just locked up like that. Unfortunately, you know, my dad or my mom never really went through that I know of. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody done been locked up, but not to a significant part where, you know. And even I had situations where I'd have been, you know, had to do a couple of days, you know, for some petty something situation. But, you know, in terms of friends, I would say maybe 2 or 3 guys. We talking about situations, whether it's like drugs or maybe like scamming, like, you know what I mean, like identity theft type of situations. But other than that, you know, nobody who's done a murder or, you know, out here robbing and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, more so something that, you know, they either trying to hustle, they trying to get money at the end of the day, you know. And so yeah, you know, but nothing too crazy. Yep. Okay. But I know a lot of people who know people who, you know, it seems to be more common, but just not in my circle.
What motivates you to get up every day?
Man, the vision for my future. The vision for my future, really understanding, you know, the type of life that I want to live, who I want to be, the purpose that I feel like God has over my life. And then also just, you know, my family and my peers, like those who I'm doing it for. You know, my why at the end of the day, my mom, my dad, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, to dumb it down, shoot, you know, I want to ball with my parents. You get what I'm saying? And as I'm getting older, they're getting older too as well. So I'm doing it for not only those behind me, but those before me as well who brought me up.
Okay. Do you believe the entertainment business in America, for example, music, movies, and sports, are helping or hurting the functional black families, and how?
Man. It could be a biased question, man. So outside of my career, I got an entertainment company. I've been doing events for about 5-6 years. Love to do events. So from that standpoint, I think entertainment, whether it's music, art, you know, sporting events, you know, that's helping the black culture, because not only is it putting money in our pockets, it's also allowing us to display the talents that we have, and allowing us to express, it shows other people that they are able to be successful anyway that they could be successful. I could be a producer, I could be an athlete if I put my mind to it. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't have to go to school and do this if I don't want to. You know what I mean? It could be a plan B, but I think that what we see in the media in terms of music, even the things that are talked about in the black music, you know, in some black music, are inspiring, are encouraging. You know, we look at the Diddy's and we look at the Hoes and we like, man, I want to be like that. You know what I mean? Those type of figures that we have in that entertainment industry is what's changing the black culture in general, is what I feel.
Are you more comfortable living in an all-white community or all-black community, and why?
I think it just depends. I mean, I'd rather be with my people. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But I have been in some areas where it's an all-black community. I mean, we know the differences between we know what the classes, you know, like you got the poor, the middle class, and the high class. I don't want to live in an area where it's like that all the time, you know, in terms of everybody's bougie and everybody's they're living this certain life to where, you know, they almost don't really know themselves, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in a situation where I'm always struggling. I think that middle ground is good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I was brought up. And I know lifestyles and, you know, being successful in the future may change that. I might end up in a gated community, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, a lot of gated communities aren't all black communities. But I think it just depends on, my circumstances in life and where I am, what I can afford.
All right. When you arrive to a medical center, do you request for a black doctor?
I haven't been in the medical center that much, but the ones that I go to, they be black doctors. Like if I go to a dental office, I go to Meharry. Growing up, I went to black dental offices. Growing up, my physician was African American. She was from Africa, actually. So I've never had, probably until recently, now I go to East Nashville Family Medicines for my physicals and checkups and stuff like that. That's just a predominant, we in Nashville. Yeah. It's not, unless you go to Meharry, you don't really see that. And so, yeah.
If you had one message to black people, what would it be?
Be all you can be, take advantage of each day, every opportunity that you got, because you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for those around you, whether it's family or those watching you. So just be all you can be, and holistically, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, even get the help that you need if you need it. I was even thinking, we talk so much about, different type of resources that you have, and I think that like people look at therapy as a weird thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But even those type of situations, like black people got to get help. If you need, help in terms of like financial assistance, go get it. If you need help in terms of, like somebody to talk to and help you through that emotional and physical situations, go get it. But I think that we can't be negligent and ignore issues that we have, because those are going to be the situations that hold us back from being the best that we can be. You know what I'm saying? So be all you can be and get the help you need. Maximize your opportunities.
Do you believe mixed races share the same struggle as black people, and why?
Nah. Like mixed races, like if I got a black mom and a white dad, nah. I think it's just because it depends. It depends on what side you fall on. You got some people that's mixed that kind of fall on the white side, and you got some people that's mixed that fall on the black side. It just depends. But unfortunately, it's like we in a pick a side world, and because we got so much going on with the police brutality and, just even with kids growing up in school, we don't know what they go through. Like when I was in high school, it wasn't until like maybe last year I was talking to a high school friend. I was like, man, y'all remember back in high school, man, the hallways was segregated. Like we had a white hall and a black hall. Like, yeah, they was like, yeah, I've been through that. We used to talk about that all the time, but we don't realize that situation. You get what I'm saying? It's always like a pick a side. Even if you don't want to, you do inevitably. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that mixed races, they just gotta, I don't think they get any. I think the any benefits or any like anything better that they may experience may be if they are on maybe that white side. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's good for camera, but that fairer side, or however you say that. You know what I mean? Like I think that's pretty much what it's based on, because if you view it as black, then you're dealing with the same struggles that we all are. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you look like.
Do you think black people should date out of their race?
I think it's up to you, man. Like that's who's to call that but God. Whether you dating somebody white, Hispanic, Asian, I think people should date who they love. That's what it's about at the end of the day.
All right, and the last question that I always leave with everybody: if you had one wish for black people, what would it be?
One wish that if I got this wish granted,
it'll happen.
Equality, real equality, true equality. Like not really being looked at as the like we are looked at so much differently, and you see it, even in the workplace. You and I work together. Like true equality, not like when I step in an engineering office and I come to work, do you look at me like you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning? You get what I'm saying? Or do you in your head think this black guy? You get what I'm saying? When I'm taking the floor and I'm leading, do you pay attention like you pay attention to the CEO? You get what I'm saying? Like, or is it because it's this black guy? You get what I'm saying? And so I think that, you know, the black guy, the you know, that black guy, you know, or the black, like, we got to take that away from it and just really let this be an even playing field. You get what I'm saying? Like, take away
skills, huh?
Yeah, like, because we already balling. Like, let's just be honest. You know how I see it. I mean, I'm not trying to be racist, but how I see it, we do the best at everything. The NBA that's getting watched, that's us. NFL that's getting watched, what is it, 11 players on the field? I can guarantee you on both sides, 9 of them black. You know what I'm saying? 5 players on the court, 10 players on the court in the NBA Finals, I guarantee you 8 of them black, and 2 of them might be from England or overseas or Africa. They barely white. You know what I mean? And so just getting that even playing field to where we can get our time to shine. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to play small, or we don't have to be in this box, and every time that we open up, or every time that we are a little bit successful, we shake somebody up, make somebody nervous because they see the disadvantage. I mean, they see the advantage that we got over them. They see the mismatch, you know? They see that if I step in this room and I get to talking and they get to talking and I get to walking and they get to walking and I get to dressing and they get to dressing, and if we on the same scale and we got the same credentials, I win. The only time I don't win is when you say that black guy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you go to an internship and you got 500 interns on intern immersion day, and y'all got my first ever internship, we got a black people group meet because it's only 10 interns in the room out of 500. What's that, 2%? You know what I mean? Out of 500 students that you found across the globe, only 10 of them was black. Come on, man, that's not by accident. You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say, man, just a fair playing field. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that'll change the game. Like, that'll change the game. Everything that we've been seeing, this ain't like all the athletes and all the doctors and the engineers and the lawyers and everybody that you see successful, that ain't just been happening. We just kind of getting to scratch the surface of being able to display that and showcase that. Before then, they was locking us up in chains and boxes. You get what I'm saying? Now the best way they do it is put us in jail. You get what I'm saying? But if we stay out of that, you know, is no telling that what we could be. And so that's my wish, man. Equality, true equality.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show.
Most definitely. Thanks for having me.
Till next time.
Most definitely.